What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Top Networkers Group. Thank you all for tuning in, especially any of you who've been with me for 10 years now. I talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. Some of the views have been up and down here in the last year or so. I don't blame YouTube or algorithms or any of that. The reality is, most of you are more interested in being entertained than informed. You want shucking and jiving. You want somebody to entertain you. You want charts and graphs and screenshots. And I'm not hating on any of that stuff. I'm just saying there's a time and place for all things. And sometimes people don't want to just listen to somebody talk. They want, if anything, you want to watch a video with a person doing some tricks, or doing some miracles. You don't want to just sit and listen to what somebody has to say. So I think this is why a lot of you get misled so easily, because you allow the people who are seeking to entertain you to inform you, and they don't have no information for you. So look, you see the title. You know what I'm here to talk about. A semi-controversial topic, but I think as of late, it may be starting to get a little clearer. I've been involved in the realm of cryptocurrency since before 2017. I apologize. Scam likely calling me. I probably should have went into airplane mode. So before 2017, I was getting into it actually at the tail end of 2016 is when I got involved in cryptocurrency, when I made my first investment in Bitcoin. And really didn't understand what Ether was. I'm so upset about that. I really and truly should have and could have bought way more Ether early when it was $2. You know, that's kind of thing that got my attention. Is when I first came into crypto, Ether was like $1.50, and like a couple of days later, it was $2, and then it was like $4. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what this thing is, but I'm gonna get some just in case. And that's what happened. But again, I didn't get nearly as much as I should have gotten. I kick myself about that one all the time because it was the perfect buying time and didn't know it, didn't realize it. But one of the reasons Ethereum has taken off to where it just crossed over $3,000 just a couple of days ago is because of the community. Now, many will argue it's because of the use case. Look at all the things that people can do with Ethereum, all the coins that are developing on Ethereum, and all the things that are happening because of Ethereum. And many will argue that that's the reason that it is what it is. Meanwhile, and I talked about this on a video not so long ago, a coin like Doge. Doge has never had a use case. It's always been a joke, but it has always had a strong community. And the reason that Doge is still around today has nothing to do with the use case and everything to do with the community. Everything. Because as many people will point out, there are no devs, no one's working on it, there's no one to maintain it. It's just it's a free willy. And yet people are endorsing it, people are putting money into it. Dogecoin has survived and thrived because of its community. And it started up a new conversation about use case versus, whether or not use case matters or not. Because as many will point out, Bitcoin doesn't have a use case. Now, many are saying nowadays that Bitcoin is a store of value, and yet that narrative started up maybe about 2 years ago. That over time, after 10 years, people were starting to see that Bitcoin has held up as a better store of value than gold. So many are now saying that that's Bitcoin's use case, but that wasn't what Bitcoin was created for. That wasn't Bitcoin's use case from the beginning. It was created to be money, to be spent, earned, to be used as collateral. It wasn't created to be a store of value. And yet, this is what I'm getting into. Bitcoin has had the strongest community out of all the coins. The reason that Bitcoin is approaching 60K has more to do with the community of people who are involved with Bitcoin and less to do with use case. Look, this isn't a popular opinion, and that's one thing about me and my channel, and you'll find, and also I don't just put things out just to be controversial, just to disagree. I actually put some thought into these things, and when I think about it, this is what stands out. Look, I hate to bring up Coinda again, but I'm going to. Coinda at this point is part of cryptocurrency history. I was watching KRBE, the Gentleman of Crypto. Shout outs to King Bless, Zay Jackson, author of Bitcoin and Black America. Shout outs. They really held it down, all through the bear cycle when there was nothing going on after things came down a bit during 2018, all the way through this new bull run that started right at the end of 2020. They've been really holding it down. But I still remember when they gave Coinda the Community Award. And at the time, it was a big deal because we were a brand new community. And I say we because I was absolutely part of Coinda. I helped build it up. And even though our coin didn't have a use case, we had a strong community at the time. At least it looked like that. What time showed us is we didn't have a strong community. We actually had a very, we had a community built on shaky foundation. And because of that, CJ's is nothing really. It's just a coin with a good idea at one point in history that never came into its use case. In fact, you've watched some of my videos, probably, maybe you haven't. That's what happened to Coinda. Is Lamar Wilson and Cash to J, the XRP agent, they decided to basically take the community and leverage it into a CBD operation where they lied to the community and told us that this CBD operation was going to provide a use case for our CJs. And instead, they never took a single investment in CJs, which would have forced people to use CJs to buy their CBD products, which would have created liquidity for our coin, which would have created use case for our coin, and they didn't give a damn about that. They started taking USD. And to this day, it's like 3 years later now, they are still taking orders in USD. They don't even talk about CJs. And the community we built is no more. Coinda is a wrap. It's in shambles. There are all types of little groups now. They're all in all types of different investments and conversations, etc. And that unison that we had is no longer there. It's gone. And so is the coin. And even I would argue that the little Sunjoin community that they're building is not happening, because you look at their Facebook is dead. Nobody comments on anything. There are no likes. So does use case really matter? I mean, is that really the driving force? Is it use case or is it the community? Let me ask you a question. How many of you have been in crypto long enough to remember Patientory? Patientory had so much potential as far as use case. They wanted to put the medical history on the blockchain, but do it in a way where it was protected, it was private, doctors could access it using patientory to be able to get in and see what your medical history has been. And this would now allow doctors from all over to work with you and access your medical history should you give them access, again, via patientory. But how many of you even have heard of patientory? That's my point. Excellent use case. But where was their community? They didn't have one. The coin is actually no longer trading. I'll give you another one. Who remembers Funfair? Now, Funfair is still out there, still trucking along. Its use case was supposed to be online gambling, online casinos, built on Ethereum. Funfair was actually supposed to be one of the next big things in crypto. Here we are 4 years later, 3 years later. I forget when Mike Novogratz went on, one of those big shows and named Funfair. That's one of the reasons that I invested. Like, okay, here goes a billionaire talking about coins. What's this Funfair thing? Where's the community for Funfair? See, with our community, it doesn't matter what your use case is. You can have the best use case in the world. But if you don't have a community, it doesn't matter. Same thing goes for any coin. Look, there are so many people that make content, and let me just say this real quick. Not all content creators are right. This is why you as a listener, you still have the responsibility of doing your own research. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say or the next person with a YouTube account has to say about crypto. You need to learn these things on your own. Now, what you should do is look into what I'm saying. Look around crypto, and what you're going to find, look at the top 10. The top 10 cryptos have strong communities. Like, look, SafeMoon is making a bunch of noise right now. And there are people who are arguing about, well, what's the use case? What's the use case? What's the use case? Oh, you should invest in something with a better use case. But does that really matter? Listen to what I'm saying. Look at the community. The community creates the use case. If a coin has community, it will find use cases. That's really and ultimately the thing about Ethereum. Ethereum, even though it does have a strong use case, there's such a strong community around Ethereum. All these developers who decided to create coins running on Ethereum, they could have done it on Stellar. They could have done it on Tron. They could have done it on Binance. We're starting to see that's a new platform people could develop on, and some are choosing that. But this is what I'm getting at. So many people have chosen to use Ethereum. And is it because Ethereum has the best use case? Is that why people were doing it? Or is it because it's got the strongest community? People said, well, I could go develop my coin on these other networks, but the people over in the Ethereum community are going to eat my coin up if I put it on Ethereum. There are people who have built their communities off of Ethereum's community. And whether their coin has a use case or not, if they don't have a community, it doesn't matter. Now, you can argue with me about this in the comments if you want. I'm going to give you another one, and I'm going to close this out. It's going to probably prove my point. Ripple. We all know that Ripple has a use case. And many people in crypto are not fans of Ripple. Many people don't trust the founders. Many people don't trust their association, their partnerships. People don't like how Ripple is too tied into banks and banking and the old guard. And yet, Ripple won't die. I mean, huge portions of the crypto community at large are not fans of Ripple. And name a bank right now that's using Ripple right now today for daily transactions. I'll wait. Drop it in the comments. Maybe I'm really uninformed and I don't know about it, but I don't know any banks who are using Ripple. Ripple's been around now for about 5 years. Okay? And hey, I understand maybe it takes time, right? But that's my point. Ripple has a strong community. Their community will argue with you. They'll fight with you for days and on end. They'll argue against any other coin not named Ripple. I mean, they're truly toxic within the crypto community space. You know, they're not good community members. They're really a problem for the most part. And I'm talking about the die-hard Ripples, not the ones who got a bag and waiting for it to blow up because it just might someday. I'm talking about the people who act like Ripple is better than Bitcoin, better than Ethereum, better than Cardano, better than Litecoin. The people who act like Ripple is that shit. You can't tell them nothing. In fact, like I said, Cash to J, a agent of the system, brought down the community, a black community that was trying to help black people get involved in economics because he liked Ripple more than CJ's. And now that they got the SunJoin thing going, they don't even bring up CJ's. Mission accomplished. The Ripple community is strong. They're wrong, but they're also strong. And that's what keeps their coin around. Look, you guys, you do the research. You go and find out. Stop listening to all these people who tell you use case is the thing that matters. And I don't mean because there's a bunch of experts who really know their shit. And that's their point too. The use case. But damn all that. Look at the communities. It don't matter what your use case is if you don't have a community of people to use your coin, to push your coin, to promote your coin, to market your coin, to bring others into your coin. That's what matters in crypto. Thank you for watching. If you disagree or agree, let me know down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, check out all videos, find out who you're following, and thank you again for tuning in. All right, I'm gonna call you back.